Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, I'm not too worried about the prices in this market. I think that, Bitcoin will sweep the lows that I've been calling for a fairly long time. Of course, that could get a little bit scary. We almost hit that exact today. If we go back to, let's just go back to 1 year, sorry, so that we can actually really kind of address this and see this on, a little bit of a nice macro view. So I've been saying that we're going to come down and test these lows back in September for a fairly long time. And we haven't hit those just yet. We are around like 45.8K, or that's pretty much where we dipped down to today. I know we probably dipped a little bit lower. But overall, there's not a lot of demand here going all the way back to September. The demand is actually down here at about 40K. So, I'm waiting for that to actually happen. I'm not buying anything right now, and I'm not too worried at all in the market. I think that 2022 is going to be absolutely parabolic for a lot of altcoins. Of course, yes, we are watching Bitcoin dominance, because the lower Bitcoin dominance goes here, the more that alts will pretty much start to move. I mean, on the 24-hour span, we are seeing some altcoins, doing some parabolic rises, doing 27%, 20%, and so forth. So I am watching altcoins very closely. I don't really care too much about the market sentiment right now, because I know like a lot of people are, a little bit confused on that, bullish, bearish, whatever the case may be, but I am not too worried at all. I do believe that 2022 is going to get very interesting very soon. Now, of course, in terms of the Ripple community, the XRP community, whatever you want to call it, we have been really eyeing CBDCs in general. We've been really talking about ISO 222 and stuff like that going live this year, and I definitely do think that it calls for a concern to really kind of pay attention to what is happening with CBDC pilots, and pretty much seeing CBDCs in general roll out. We do see here, after successful completion of CBDC pilot, Jamaica eyes national rollout. This was, just from yesterday alone, and I think that we're going to see a lot more of this year. I think that 2021 was the year that, CBDCs really got pushed to the public, really got spoken about, especially from Jerome Powell for the Fed. And I think that's only a matter of time before we see a lot more CBDC adoption. Now, we do see a report published earlier today noted that the digital currency Inera adoption had grown significantly since launch. Mobile downloads of its wallet were averaging about 20,000 a day. Moreover, within a month of the launch, almost 114,900 wallets had been detected out of the total 589,000 downloaded applications. I think it's funny that this says 589. I think that's pretty funny. That's just me making a little bit of a joke. But overall, which carried out 37,810 transactions during this time. So we are seeing, CBDCs being adopted not only into these areas, but also retail individuals love it. They are utilizing it. They like it. So, in terms of digital money, in terms of digital, stable coins, if you will, because I know that a lot of people think that, they're just going to make this new, or they're going to use a specific asset or anything like that. But realistically speaking, they are going to be utilizing a new currency, which is Inera, which I don't know who, I don't know what DOT or anything like that they're building on here, but we just know that it is a CBDC and it is piloted and it is rolling out. So it's very exciting to see. And we do see over here now with CBDCs really sparking up a debate. I know a lot of people, and this goes back to 2018, think that Ripple is going to fail because banks can't/won't give up control of their payments to Ripple Labs. And we actually see David Schwartz responding to this and really talking about it, and says, the irreplaceable aspect of XRP itself, it's the same thing with Bitcoin. Anyone can fork the ledger if they want to, and they can distribute the new asset they create however they want. That doesn't give them any of Bitcoin's value or utility. And we do see here that's, what everyone said about Bitcoin, and they were all wrong for precisely the same reason. Value and utility don't create themselves by magic. In any event, if you think what Ripple is trying to do is easy with bank support, you should expect us to succeed. I'm not sure how I can make it any clearer. The internet grew to, a decentralized, censorship-resistant open system, but it's early growth came from the military, governments, and even big information providers and access providers. We do see here, first it was adopted by early visionaries looking for an edge or advantage. Later, even those it threatened had no choice but to adopt it. Gradually, it changed the way information moves globally and gained wide adoption. That's the XRP strategy. Essentially, he is saying that XRP is going to be, at some point in time, far too big, far too good in terms of its potential. Even those who are threatened by it are going to have to adopt it. They all are going to have to adopt it. And we do see here the grand vision of XRP as a global bridge asset. This is from David Schwartz himself. Liquidity plays a huge part. Now, I'm not going to read this entire thing, but I just want you guys to understand that, first off, a central bank is not going to issue a digital asset that behaves like, for an example, crypto. These are neutral assets that should remain free from single jurisdictional, control. CBDCs are not going to usurp the role of universal settlement assets. You need a neutral asset going in between CBDCs, serving as a bridge, aka XRP. And of course, he is mentioning, Bitcoin is sometimes pitched as the interoperability, solution, and in the early days that almost seemed believable. But as we now have, some 1,500 cryptocurrencies that don't interoperate and almost nothing non-crypto interoperates with Bitcoin, we have recreated a newer version of the same walled garden problem. Instead of building an internet based on compatibility, we built one network and required everyone to join that network, requiring too many sacrifices too quickly. XRP and the XRP ledger. So overall, if we're talking about where XRP stands, I know a lot of individuals, and we actually have that question here, does HBAR, pose a threat to XRP? Does any other DOT pose a threat to XRP? I think these are all going after specific use cases. I know that HBAR's, stablecoin bridge that we seen yesterday is very interesting and it's great. That's fine. If HBAR does grasp a large percentage of the market as well, that's totally fine. I think that these two can succeed even in a market where we do see DLTs being adopted at mass scale. Again, it all goes back to the interoperable solution, which I've always discussed, QNT or Quant Network. That's why you guys really need to look into QNT, because we still lack interoperability. So as long as DLTs are being adopted and as long as XRP is being utilized, the way it's supposed to be, and other DLTs can get a little bit of the market share as well, because there's a lot of money to go around for a lot of these DLTs, I'm totally fine with that. Now, we also see Wall Street will find ways to satisfy crypto envy. If you guys missed it, essentially, crypto is getting to the point where it can't be overlooked anymore. Banks are gearing up to get in on the crypto craze in 2022. So are financial institutions. I think that this is going to get very, very interesting very fast, because we know that crypto has been in the limelight for a very long time now. It started really in 2021. It really started to grow massively. I remember when barely anybody would talk about crypto, and now you see it on news outlets. You see it in the mouths of financial institutions, banks. They all realize the massive potential behind this, and the media was pushing out crypto content day after day after day in 2021, and I believe the same is going to happen in 2022. I think that the floodgates are about to open. I really do think that the amount of volume that will flow through crypto is going to send a lot of these assets skyrocketing, and we even see here that millionaire millennials plan on throwing more money into crypto this year. CNBC survey. Again, CNBC is all over crypto. And we do see here that, millennials with investable assets worth at least $1 million or more and finds that this next generation of wealth is heavily invested in the digital space. 83% of millennial millionaires own cryptocurrency. I see it all the time. I'm throwing money into crypto all the time. And honestly, I continue to throw money into crypto because I know that even if we go into a bear market tomorrow, I know a bull market is just around the corner again, so it's fine with me to continue to invest in this, technology. I know what this technology is pretty much becoming. I know where it's going as well. I do think that this technology just like David Schwartz is saying here, don't just center your attention on XRP, center it on everything, because honestly, when we're talking about crypto in general, it is way too big not to adopt it. Even those who are threatened by it, scared of it, they will adopt it. And I'm very excited for those days to come. And we do see, things being thrown around like this. This happened today. How technology is disrupting the global remittance industry. We know that in terms of remittances, we know in terms of a lot of these markets, this is massive amounts of money. Right now, if we go back to 2020, we've seen, a recorded flow of remittances, reached about $702 billion. Now marginally less than the 2019 total of $719 billion. And of course, when we're talking about this, this isn't a massive market, but this is still quite a bit of money. And we know that a lot of assets, like for example, Ripple, are flowing into this market and trying to grasp a large percentage of it. Now, we do see down here, the global digital remittance market is estimated to grow from $14.5 billion in 2019 to $35.8 billion by 2026. So we know that in terms of digital remittances, it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Now, of course, this is just the bare minimum. We're not even talking about cross-border payments. We're not even talking about, the major key, massive amounts of markets, like, for an example, the NCashOfficial accounts that are like $27 trillion, the derivatives market and stuff like that. There's a lot of other things besides the remittance market in that. But, of course, when we're talking about Ripple, we do see Ripple named down here as one of the biggest cryptocurrency projects that are really kind of focused on, the remittance services. Even seeing going back to October, Qatar National Bank, QNB, had launched a remittance service. So, and of course, this is in collaboration with Ripple, and they are utilizing, Ripple Nets, Ripple's global financial network technology, which of course uses, XRP in terms of cross-border payments. Overall, I think that we're going to see a lot more adoption within this. I think that, when we're talking about remittances, cross-border payments, we're talking about even, B2B specific markets. I mean, those are trillions of dollars. So, any amount of money, like, I know a lot of people think that, oh yeah, it's $702 billion, that's nothing compared to this or that. These are still massive markets that Ripple's disrupting. And I want to look back a little bit in time, and I really want to show you guys some of the US-based, clients that Ripple did have, the biggest banks. So PNC, which was, one of the top 10 banks in the United States with over $6 billion in deposits, joined Ripple in 2016 to use it for cross-border payments and settlements, especially to improve the speed of its payment process. Now, this was just one bank. Of course, there's a ton of other banks like, Santander and stuff, but I'm more so focused on the US clients. Okay? And the reason why I want to focus on the US-based clients is because we know Bank of America was signed on. We know MoneyGram, which was based in the US, was using Ripple as well. I mean, MoneyGram isn't so much a bank, but still it provides a ton of value to retail individuals as well as the banking, scene too. But overall, when we're talking about these US-based clients, we have to pay attention to them because these are the clients that are going to rejoin after a settlement is done, right? When I'm talking about a settlement, we are closing the gap on that. I think that we close the gap on a settlement day by day by day. We actually even see here, XRP volumes above $1 billion as SEC versus Ripple lawsuit closer to an end. Okay, we know that it happened, it started in 2020, and now we're in like almost the 3-year mark. I know it's only been 1 year, but it has spanned 3 years. It started in 2020. It pretty much reached into 2021, and now it's reaching into 2022. I believe that this is going to go on probably for a little bit longer, but I do believe a settlement is going to happen in 2022. And the reason why I think it's going to happen this year is because there's so much evidence coming out that's really kind of pushing the mark on the idea that when we're talking about what is happening with the ETH-gate stuff, if you guys have heard about the Ethereum-gate stuff, there's way too much corruption to ignore. We do see here, Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan joined Ethereum Alliance, bemoaned Bitcoin publicly, throwing shade on crypto, slowed bank adoption, then funded consensus. Ripple and XRP threatened JP Morgan and Ethereum domination. Easy to see why power brokers were set in motion to greenlight Ethereum and attack. And we even see here, remember the guy who claimed he had info that Ripple and Bank of America had made some exclusive 2-year partnership to use ODL as a tier 1 US bank? I think it was on XRP chat. If someone had that, thread, that would be interesting before MoneyGram announced, by the way. And it is the idea that there's been so many updates within the Ripple and XRP community scene that's really kind of pointing to the idea that XRP was ready to take over in terms of the crypto space. They had the partnerships, they had the overall use cases behind it as well in terms of, on-demand liquidity. We talk about banks, having these massive partnerships with it. We talk about financial institutions, right? 17 financial institutions already using RippleNet Cloud for our new Ripple customers. This goes back to 2020, June, by the way. Now, I just want you guys to understand, here are those, clients, those customers, if you will. MoneyGram, labeled here, as you guys do see, and other, incredible names as well. But overall, the reason why I bring this up is because, first off, for anybody who's going to say, well, it's RippleNet Cloud, they're not using RippleNet. RippleNet Cloud, just so you guys know, I have it open over here, tapping the power of RippleNet Cloud. This is going to pretty much allow, those customers to increase efficiency and maximizing their competitive advantage with faster speed of innovation and time to market. Also, just so you guys know, in terms of the RippleNet Cloud, PDF file, yeah, it's pretty much just telling you, like, RippleNet Cloud is still utilizing RippleNet products and services, which, again, we all know is pretty much, XRP, and it's also plug and play. It's easy, easy to utilize those services like on-demand liquidity after implementation, all that kind of stuff. But it's very fast. It allows them to be quick to market. We see a ton of names over here. Like I said, those, major ones. Cost-effective access to new features as well, scalable and also secure. But overall, when we're talking about, these major companies, okay, Ethereum in general, as a crypto asset, was not being utilized the way XRP was at all. There's not another crypto asset in this space that was being utilized by the top 38 out of the top 100 banks globally, as well as position themselves as perfectly as Ripple was. These major banks that were signing on were utilizing XRP, well, RippleNet products that were, of course, utilizing XRP because they seen the potential behind it. They knew eventually where we were going. In terms of cross-border payments, we know that they're failed. We know that there's issues with it. So why do you think it was the only asset targeted? It's because we threatened these major financial institutions. We threatened Ethereum. We threatened Bitcoin. We were about to take over at such a massive scale, and that scared a lot of individuals. In fact, it scared almost all the elitists in these major banks, these major financial institutions, these major hedge funds. We scared them all, and it's no big surprise. I mean, listen, if I was a bank and I seen this technology being adopted at massive scale, going back to 2019 alone, they were all the way to 300 financial institutions, and they were making their name known around the entire crypto community. I mean, listen, if you were here during, 2017 all the way to 2018, you knew who Ripple and XRP were. Okay? XRP was one of the main players in the game. It still is, in my opinion. It has not lost its, domination factor, to me at least. But when we're talking about how big this asset's going to be once a settlement happens, which I believe that we're closing the gap, like I said, we're closing the gap in on a massive settlement event. I believe that this is going to spark a massive revolution for XRP to be adopted. Okay, yeah, I believe that our main US-based clients that were already utilizing XRP previous to this lawsuit, they're going to sign on, but we're also going to see a lot more adoption from major other players in the banking scene. And it's also going to be the year, 2022 is the year of CBDCs. Do you not think that these governments see the use cases behind pretty much the fastest cross-border payment, options like XRP's on-demand liquidity, or I should say Ripple's on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP. I mean, come on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand this technology, to see where this technology is going to lead us in the race to digital globalization. So in my mind, XRP, clear winner. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.